Hello everybody, welcome to the Python course. In the previous lecture, we have started with the module 6, that is dictionary and sets. We have covered the dictionary part in the previous lecture. Now we'll cover the remaining part, that is sets. In this part, we will see the set creation, modifying sets, set operations, and we will look upon frozen sets also. So let us start. I have already opened up my Anaconda Navigator and will launch a new notebook. So let us go to documents, GitHub projects, then we'll have Python trainings. In the Python trainings, I go to training folder, and now in this part I will create a new file or new Jupyter notebook, module 5, that is sets. Okay, so let's start with the presentation. Okay, so in this part we will see how we can create sets, modify its components. Then we'll see the set operations, that is union, intersection, difference, and symmetric difference. Right? So what is a set? So set is a collection of distinct objects. Right? So it does not hold any duplicate items, and it stores elements in no particular order, and it is also created using the curly braces. As we have already seen, dictionary could also be created using curly braces. Right? So in this part, so there are three information which I wanted to convey to you. First, sets could be created by using curly braces. It does not hold duplicate items, and it stores element in no particular order. So these three information I will practically show you what does it mean. Right? So let us try to create a set. Okay. So I create a new variable, that is my set. In this part, I will put some random elements, and some of the elements you can see that they are duplicated. Right? So some random numbers have been introduced in the set. Right? So when I execute this statement and again try to find out what is present, so you can see that these sets my set get created, and it is holding only the unique values. Here in this case you can see that 1 is repeating twice, 2 is also getting repeated twice, then we have 3 is also getting repeated twice. Right? So this removes the repeated elements and only produces the unique elements which are present in my set. Right? So this was the first part we have covered, that it is a collection of distinct objects. It does not hold any duplicate items. Right? Then the second thing what we have learned is that it has the elements created which does not hold any ordering. Right? It stores the elements in no particular order. Right? I have created some elements like 89, 1000, 13, 23, 87, then 5618, then 23 is also getting repeated, then 45. So it automatically ordered the elements and created the list, created the set, right? So this thing we need to remember. So set can hold only unique elements, no duplicacy is allowed inside set. And second thing, it does not hold any particular order. The elements are being created inside the set with no specific order, right? Okay, so this is how we could create a set. And if we wanted to print the set, then you have already seen that it removes the duplicate items from the set and returns a set of unique elements as the output, right? Okay, so also we have seen that it does not hold any order. So elements have been ordered differently. For example, in this particular example, I create a set of employee names. So Ram, Preeti, Satish, John and Nirmal are there. If I wanted to print this set, so no particular order is there. So I created in some specific order that after Ram, Preeti would be there, Satish, John or Nirmal would be there. So now I can say that John is at first position instead of fourth position, Satish is at second position instead of third, likewise, right? So they are ordered differently. This we need to keep in mind. Okay, so in this part, so set is itself a changeable, that is mutable, but it cannot contain changeable objects, right? So we could have unmutable data types, that is number, string and tuples, but we cannot have dictionaries or list inside your set, right? So this is your my set 1 equal to, right? We cannot have a list or a dictionary, right? So it's a unhashable type list. So this principle we already know that we have already seen in the case of list, in the case of dictionaries, that the key elements does not hold mutable data types, right? So similarly in sets also we cannot have mutable data types, that is list is also mutable and dictionary is also mutable. Instead we could have our tuples, right? We could have strings, we could have numbers, right? Okay, so this is your set. If I wanted to check the type of set, so you can easily check it by using the type command, right? So set is itself a changeable or a mutable data type, but it cannot hold your mutable objects. That is mutable, that is we cannot have a dictionaries or list, that is they are changeable. So we cannot hold as a elements inside your list, inside your sets, right? Okay, so now the other way to create your set is by using the set constructor, right? For example, here we have a string and I wanted to create a set, right? So by putting a set keyword and in the bracket I could put the string, so I could create a set of distinct objects. Similarly I could have a range of integers, right? And I could also convert a list into a set, right? So that we could see we could created a set and there are some elements a b c d, e f, right? So now you can see that only the distinct elements are being added inside this set. Similarly, if I wanted to have a range of numbers, I could easily do it by using a range keyword and I could have a set of elements ranging from 0 to 3. If I have a list of elements and I wanted to replace it or change the data type of a list into a set, I could simply put the set keyword in front of the list and then I could convert that, right? So you can convert any data type into another data type by using that particular data type in front of that which you wanted to convert. Okay. Now, so as we have already discussed that set is mutable. If it is mutable, we could do the add, discard, delete operations that we wanted to modify some of this of its elements, so that we can easily do it, right? So add is a method which adds the element to the existing set at any position, right? So one thing we need to remember, so it randomly adds your element at any position, right? So for example, so employee name dot add Ganesh is being added to the employee names. So Ganesh would be added at random position. So it does not specify, it would be either added at the end or will be added at a specific position, right? So let's try to make a set. So let us try to take names. So first I will take the names which is present in a list, right? So then we change this list to a set, right? So these are some of the names of the students, right? So I take a set and I convert these names into a set, right? And I put a name underscore set equal to set, right? Now in this name underscore set, I have converted the list into a set. Now I wanted to add the element or add some element or add some name, right? Now you can see that Ramesh is being added at the third position, right? But in this slide you could see that Ganesh was added at the first position. So this led to our conclusion that while adding anything to the set, so its position is not fixed. It could randomly add any value at any position, right? Then we could also modify set using the discard operation. What does discard does? It removes the matching object from the existing set. For example, we wanted to drop the name John from employee name, so that we could do it by using the discard method, right? So here in this case I wanted to discard Vipul. So by specifying the value in the parentheses in the discard method, I could easily do it. So now you can see that if I try to run name underscore set, so Vipul gets removed from your set, right? So remove is another method which we can do it, right? Similar to discard, right? So name underscore set dot remove. For example, I wanted to remove Sunil also, right? So now we have used the discard method to remove a particular entry from our set. We have also used our remove method to remove the entry. These two operations are similar. There is no such difference between these two operations, right? So let us understand what will happen. So or what is the basic difference between these two methods, right? Functionality wise, it will remove the element which is present in the parenthesis and will look for this Vipul and it will be removed from your set, right? The only difference between delete or the remove versus discard is there, both the methods work exactly the same. The only difference is that if the specified item is not present in the set, remove method will give us the key error, but discard does not return anything. Let us see. So here in this part, so I again wanted to remove Sunil, but Sunil is not present in our set. Now it will give us the error, right? But in the case of discard, I wanted to again remove Vipul from our set, but Vipul is not present in our set. So let us see what will happen. It does nothing. It has not given us an error. So this is the only difference between your discard method and remove method, right? Okay. So now next operation on set is clear. What it does? It removes all the elements from the existing set. It clears all the elements from your set. So name underscore set dot clear. Now you can see that your name set is empty, right? Pop. The next operation is pop. If we try to remove, if we try to remove an element from random element from the set, so that can be done it by using your pop method. What does pop does? It randomly removes an item from your set and print the returned value, right? If this set is empty, the pop will raise an exception, right? So in this case, set is empty. So now I do a pop method. So it say pop from an empty set. So set is not holding any element, so it is empty, right? Now in this part I'll add some entries to it. Vipul, right? Right, now this is your set in which we have two entries, that is Vipul and Sunil. If I wanted to do a pop operation, it randomly takes one of the elements, right? Okay, now we'll come across these set operations. For example, in your screen there are two different sets with different programming languages. We have the junior data scientist, in which there is a set of R, Python and Tableau. We have a data scientist in which we have R, Python, Scala, Java and Tableau. Now you can see that in these two different sets we have some of the elements which are matching, right? R, Python are matching elements from both the sets, right? Okay. So let us try to create the similar example, right? What I do is I do name equal to Amit, Vipul, Sunil and Akash, right? And name 1 equal to Sunil, Rohit, Ashu or Ram, right? Now you can see that there are two sets which are holding different elements, and some of the elements are repeating in both the sets. You can see that Sunil is repeating, right? Only Sunil is repeating. So I'll try to take another element, that is Vipul also, right? Okay, now it is fine. So we have Sunil which are repeating in which is repeating in both the sets, and Vipul is also being repeated in both the sets. Okay, right? So let's execute it and let's print it. So name, we have a 4 names, Akash, Amit, Sunil and Vipul, and in name 1 we have 5 elements, Ashu, Ram, Rohit, Sunil and Vipul, and here Sunil and Vipul are repeating, right? Okay, so now we wanted to return all the elements belonging to set A and set B. So this is basically an union of both the sets. Find me all the elements, but I only want unique elements, right? So that could be done it by using your set operation, that is union. So I will say name dot union, and in the bracket name 1, right? It will return me all the elements without repetition. So now you can see that Vipul and Sunil were repeating, but here in this output Vipul and Sunil are not getting repeated. All the unique elements are there, right? If you do a union, right? Now if I wanted to get only the repeating elements in both the sets, that is done by using your intersection, which are common to both the sets. So in the Venn diagram you can say this is your intersection. Sunil and Vipul are been common to both the sets. So I only want those elements which are common to both the sets. So that can be done by using your intersection. So here I could say name dot, right, intersection name 1. So only Sunil and Vipul are there, right? Then we have the difference. It says it returns elements belonging to A but not to B, right? So here in this case I only want the elements which are present in A, that is name, but I don't want Sunil and Vipul, right? So Sunil and Vipul are the elements which are also present in set B, but I don't want that. I only want the names which are only unique to A only, right? So these are the elements which are repeating in name 2, name 1 also. So I only want Amit and Sunil. That I can do it by using a difference, right? So here I could do it name dot difference name 1. So Akash and Amit are present only in A but not in B, right? Then we have this symmetric difference. We need those elements which are not common to both the sets, right? In this case we want all the elements, but we only need those elements which are not present in both the sets. Okay, so here Vipul and Sunil, these are the elements which are common. Other than these elements I want all the elements. So that could be done by using symmetric difference, right? So this is how your set operation works. We have done union, we have done intersection, we have done difference, and then we have done symmetric difference, right? So set operation is very faster, and it will yield you, and it will segregate out what are the common elements which are present in set 2, right? For example, you have two large lists in which you have the names of some students, and you have another list in which there are some matching elements or matching names of students, and you wanted to make it a unique list or a unique array, right? So you can easily convert your list operations to a set, and then you can apply these methods, and then likewise according to your need, according to your business requirement, you can sort it out, and then again you could convert this back into your list and do the operation, right? So this is how your set operation work, right? Okay, now we'll see how we can iterate through a set. So iteration is simple, right? So iteration is, I've already discussed, we are using a for loop, and for item is a temporary variable in iterable, and we are printing that item. So it gives us the values which are present in your iterable, right? Here in this case we have name set. Okay, so for, we could take item or any other name, right? Then we say print item, right? We get 4 elements: Vipul, Akash, Amit and Sunil. Then the next thing is that we have frozen sets, right? So sets is mutable. Anything we can change, we can modify, that is mutable. So far we have learnt list is mutable, we can change the lists. Dictionary is also mutable, we can also change the dictionaries. Sets are also mutable, we can also add the elements, we can change the set, right? Immutable, strings are immutable, tuples are immutable, integers are immutable, right? And the last part is that frozen sets are also immutable, right? Frozen is a name given to a set which is immutable. So we have made this set as frozen, right? Okay, so frozen set is just like another set, but the only immutable. Okay, how we can create a frozen set? By using a frozen set keyword. For example, this is your list, and inside your list we wanted to convert it into a frozen set, right? Now this list has been converted into a frozen set. So let us understand and see the working. So we have a names. Okay, so I'll take another list, that is, and put some elements into it. So Akash, Vipul, Sunil, right? So this is your normal list. Now what I do is name underscore frozen, right, equal to frozen set and name. Right, now this is your frozen set which is holding 3 values, that is Akash, Vipul and Sunil. If I wanted to check the type of this name frozen, it will return as the frozen set, right? You can see it is of type frozen set. Now in this frozen set I wanted to modify or add some of the elements which we were trying to add it as a normal set. So I just wanted to add Ram to it. Now let's see what happens. So it says frozen set object has no attribute add. This means we cannot add it because it is immutable, right? So that is why if we wanted to add, if we doesn't wanted to add anything into our set, then we could make our set as a frozen set, right? Okay, so similarly all the methods which we were earlier using in our set, that does not hold true here in case of our frozen set. We have seen pop method, we have seen add method. So this methods will not allow us to add anything or change or modify our set because it is a frozen set and it is immutable, right? Okay, so now in this lecture we have covered our sets part. We have seen the working of our set. We have seen how we can modify a set, it is mutable or immutable, and then we have also looked upon the various set operations, that is union, intersection, difference and symmetric difference, and in the last part we have seen the frozen sets. Okay, hope you have enjoyed the lecture. So we'll continue further. Thank you very much.